All right, greetings. Today we're embarking on a journey through the intricate web of the internet, the realm that unites us all. Imagine a coffee shop as the internet. We'll use it as the starting point to explain the fundamentals of how the internet actually works. Imagine a request as a coffee cup, or more specifically as a coffee order that you place, whether it's a website or you're craving for a video. In this analogy, you're the customer and this coffee shop is akin to the internet that fuels our digital existence. Before we go any deeper, let's define our stage. The internet is a global network of interconnected computers. It's a virtual place where information and data flow like conversations in a coffee shop. Now let's unravel the journey of your requests. You can think of a browser request as an order being placed at the counter of a coffee shop. But how does our request get routed to the correct data or to the correct site? How is that information returned to us on our screen? Our requests travel through a network of pathways and routes to reach our destinations. But how does it navigate through this complex network? Well, let's talk about routers. Routers are basically the navigational guides in our coffee shop analogy. Just like the ingredients being brought together to brew your coffee, your request fragments into tiny data packets on the web. And these packets are what travel through our routers, skillfully directing them to the intended stops. Once your request has been properly handled, it's brought back to you in recompressed form. And this is usually in the form of a website. Each server, which is basically a computer, has an IP address. IP stands for Internet Protocol. Think of an IP address as something similar to your home address. It tells the delivery mechanism where you want to receive your messages. Now, let's explore how we determine where your requests actually head. Well, allow me to introduce you to DNS, or Domain Naming Service. Think of this as your cashier, translating your coffee order into something on a POS and delivering it to your barista, who then brews your coffee. And then they take your name and make sure that you receive the correct order. A DNS takes a website's name and translates it into an IP address. In our analogy, DNS acts as a helpful coffee runner, bridging the gap between your request and the right ingredients, which is our server location. This translation is vital in ensuring our digital order finds its way. Now let's turn our attention to HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Think of it as our coffee shop's language. When you click a link or you make a request, your computer employs HTTP to communicate with your server. And it's how servers and clients, like our browsers, communicate with one another. Just as you place a specific coffee order, your computer uses specific actions within HTTP to interact with your server. Get action is like asking for a menu item. Put is like updating your coffee order. Post is like sending a new order. And delete is like deleting your order. So in our exploration of the internet's foundation, we've revealed crucial elements: routers guiding our requests, DNS translating names to addresses, and HTTP orchestrating your interaction with servers. And this is akin to the intricate dance that it takes to make coffee. So let's review. The internet is a vast network of interconnected computers, and devices communicate using a standardized protocol. DNS acts like a phone book on the internet. When you type a web address into your browser, DNS translates the human-readable address into an IP address that computers can understand. Routers are responsible for directing data packets across our networks, and when you send a request across a website, routers are what determine the most efficient path for your data through the routes that make up the internet. HTTP is the protocol used for transmitting web pages over the internet. An HTTP requests to a server where the page is hosted and responds back with the requested information. Together, these components work seamlessly to provide the user-friendly internet experience that we're used to. As we conclude our dive into the web's mechanics, remember, every digital adventure thrives on these foundations. Together, we're uncovering the blueprint of our interconnected world. Now let's move on to the next topic.